Hey, ignore the workout faceness for a second. Welcome to Maledict Obscura, where we're going to play Darrington Press's Candela Obscura. This is a live play, so follow along through all the episodes if you so wish. Hope you do. Couple of quick house notes. We love Chinese food. It is our go-to thing for our meal. So just kind of giving a little bit of an explanation of why the fixation on Chinese food during the episode. So there's that. Then the green screen behind us, if you're watching the YouTube, that's because an idea of mine didn't pan out. But with blue collar Joe's editing skills didn't quite come to fruition the way I had hoped. But I hope you enjoy the episode regardless. We had a lot of fun playing the game and look forward to playing the next 3 sessions after this to conclude this first circle of Maledict Obscura.
Can I re-roll a gilded dice, or does it have to be an ungilded dice?
I will allow re-rolling a gilded, if it's a high-stress situation or whatever.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a meanie about it.
Monkey.
Alright, monkey.
Okay, so here we go. Welcome to Paladin's Maledict live play of Candela Obscura. We will be using the actual setting from the core rulebook of Candela Obscura, and it is set in the same time as the game is normally played in, which is the early 1900s, and with that, we will get started. Okay, so it's been 6 weeks since the sun has poked through the overcast clouds that have been hanging over Newfair. The Varnish, where the upper class tend to spend their trust funds and their time, in this section of the city sits a luxurious theater known as the Moving Pastel, a play on the idea that plays are paintings and are in motion. The sound... Wait, I lost my place. Ha ha ha. Too funny. Okay. True art, unlike the New Age moving pictures. The sound of upbeat theater music bellows from the auditorium as passerby glance at the posters for the upcoming play with piqued interest. Inside the same theater is an office on the upper floor. Curtains closed on the window that face south in the room as a man hums along with the tunes echoing from the floorboards beneath him. The jazzy music so loud he doesn't hear the door open immediately. In fact, he only hears it when it closes. The man looking up, big caterpillar-like mustache across his upper lip, with black, slicked-down hair and steely eyes. "Oh, hello," the man says. "You must be here to, settle up." The man gets up and heads towards the eastern wall, and taps a piece of light blue trim that divides the wall in the middle. "You really took me to the cleaners on that last game." The man's back to us in this view. "I must say," the man now looking over his shoulder, What are you doing?" He lets out a gasp. "Giggle mug." The view now, for a brief moment, goes to black. Alright, so, blam! A fist slams into the mouth of one Nathaniel James Carver, sending him to lean on the ropes of the boxing ring in McGillicuddy's Dodge and Jab boxing gym. The smell of sweat and sounds of punching bags and grunts from weightlifters all around as Nathan tries to catch his breath. As the world seems to slow, Nathan, I need you to take a body mark and tell us what you look like.
You see a man in his early 50s who's in pretty decent physical shape. He's been boxing as kind of a side hobby for most of his life. Kind of grew up in the streets, had a hard life, and fighting was always part of it, as a way to survive. Kind of a light blondish red hair, red beard, red mustache. Average looking in appearance, nothing special stands out about him. He likes to appear above his station. He likes to act like he's more than he should be. He wants to appear wealthy even though he's not.
Okay. So, now, are you normally good about keeping your guard up?
Usually, yes.
Usually. The thing that distracted you was you see a man in a suit standing in the gym. He's tall with some somewhat sunken eyes, like he's tired. He has dark hair. And what are your initial thoughts when you see him?
He looks out of place. It's distracting, and that's why I ended up taking the punch.
Exactly. Do you know why he's here?
I haven't a clue.
Do you know where he might be from?
I know nothing about him. I've just seen him at first glance, and now I'm a little dazed from getting hit.
Okay. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to finish the bloke off that's in the ring with you. For most of this bout, you've actually been in control. I want you to go ahead and make a control roll. First roll of the game.
4.
4. So, as you're sitting there, leaned up against the ropes, catching your breath, and you're almost like somewhat staring at the guy, you see the guy that you're in the ring with. He's a typical right-hander, and so he pulls back and he tries to plow through you, but you notice it's coming, so you kind of lean back, but you still get clipped with it, which means you got to take another body mark. And but as you're moving out of the way, you pull the rope down, and the man flips out of the ring, and so the fight is now over as well.
It's like WWE boxing.
The Royal Rumble with boxing gloves.
I hear Jerry Lawler in the background. Oh no!
He's broken in half.
He broke the table.
With the bout over, and Nathan now exiting the ring, the man is now gone, and you take note of that he is now missing from the scene in the boxing gym. What would you like to do now?
Grab a towel, wipe off a little, and then ask anybody if they saw where he went.
Okay, so you see a guy at a speed bag, pretty close to like his proximity, and so you go up to him. And how do you word it whenever you go up to him?
Excuse me, there was just a gentleman here. Looked rather out of place in a suit. Did you by chance see where he went?
Huh? What? No. You were the guy in the ring, right? That blow must have really caught you, because I don't think anybody wearing a suit was in here.
Are you quite certain?
I mean, I've been at the bag. I may have missed somebody, but I didn't see somebody in a suit.
All right, thank you.
So with how does the feeling of like this guy not being noticed make you feel?
A little unnerved.
Unnerved? Okay. What is your next like step after that?
Probably go back to my workout.
Okay.
Maybe do something as a cool down at that point. I don't know.
So let's see. Let's say you go over to a heavy bag and you start punching the heavy bag. As you're sitting there punching the bag, the gentleman in the suit comes up to your peripheral. Now, just for funsies, what's your more dominant hand? Would you be a lefty or would you be a...
No, standard right-handed.
Standard right hand? Okay. So as you're sitting there punching the bag, he goes, "Didn't mean to throw off your concentration."
I don't stop. I don't stop what I'm doing, and I just keep watching him on my peripherals.
I see that you are busy, but I have something that might be of interest to you. You're needed for Candela. We need you to meet at the Jade Palace for your new circle.
I'm familiar with this location.
Your Lightkeeper and the rest of the people for the circle will meet you there.
When should I be there?
you probably have just enough time to finish this workout. You were the first one that we reached out to.
All right.
And with that, again, the frame closes down to black. And we move to our next...
Quick question.
Yes.
Since I did a control, do I need to erase something from the control?
Yes.
Okay.
What
That's what I
city?
just wanted to make
What
sure.
city are we in? Like, are we in American City?
No, this is a totally different realm altogether. So this is called the Fairlands, is like where we're at, and it's located in a country known as Hale, and so it's completely
Okay.
like made up.
But I'm just. So I was gonna name a. I'll just say I'm from the country then.
From the country.
I won't say where.
There's a
Like if we
section.
were in New York or something, I was gonna say like I'm from West Virginia. Or something, you know.
Right. Well, there's a section outside of the city known as the Trottergrass, which is like a country, farm, rural type area. So you could be from there.
What is it?
Trottergrass, like Trotteer.
That sounds like it would be Dylan's music. Running down a character, going with my glasses on.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm late for school.
They're slipping down my nose.
So next, we see outside of a classroom, the big cherry-stained double doors are closed, and you can hear the muffled teaching inside. A hand, thin and wiry in appearance, grasps the handle. Now the view is down near the chalkboard. As our professor continues to teach, Mr. Albert T., can you describe your character?
So, standing at about 5'1", in his mid-70s, you can definitely see that he's had his life experience in not only research, but anything that pertains to learning more about the things in the world, like any kind of historical things, anything mechanical, anything science-based. He's spent his years dedicated to it. But you also see that he's a little nuts. Like he's not all there, but you can kind of see it in his eyes. But he's not the most straight up person in terms of stature. He's kind of curved over, but he's definitely had his years, and some of those years have not been well on him.
Okay. So what would you be teaching on right now?
Probably teaching that. Let me just enact it.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I want.
Kids, still we have yet to find that there have been a transitional fossil. We have people all around the world who are saying that there are fossils of animals turning into other animals. We have yet to find it. And some of my colleagues dare to say that just a regular skull is apparently one of those fossils. I have yet to see any kind of evidence of this information.
Are you looking at the chalkboard as you're saying all this?
I'm looking at the students.
Okay, so as you're looking at the students, you see the man come in quietly, and he goes to sit down. His appearance is thin, and his eyes are sunken in, like he's tired, and he's got dark hair, and he's dressed in a suit. How do you act whenever he comes into the classroom?
I look at him for a minute and like acknowledge his existence, and then I just continue teaching.
Okay, so as you continued to teach, the class was probably about 3/4 of the way through. So we'll say in another like 20 minutes of teaching, the alarm, the bell goes off for class to end. How do you dismiss the class?
Well, class, remember, don't always trust the things you see. Always look for the things and any kind of information that you can learn, and don't trust everyone.
As with that, as the class is beginning to get up and leave, what do you do?
I look at the man and I say, I haven't seen you around here in a while.
Excellent lesson, Professor. And yes, it's been a little while since you've been needed for Candela, but once again, we require your service.
I told myself I wouldn't go back, but the only reason I'd go back is because I wanted to investigate the technology that these weirdos use.
Well, the Red Hand certainly has quite a bit of that, and then not only them, but there's several other people that are starting to get into the arcane game, so to speak.
You mean the things that we can't see, things we can't fathom?
Indeed.
How long has this been going on for?
For a long time, as you know, because you've been in a few circles yourself. How many circles has Albert T been in?
He's been in one,
Okay.
and it didn't go well.
And it didn't go well?
Didn't go well.
Okay. So what happened then? Or is that something that we're going to find out throughout the game?
We'll find out throughout the game.
Perfect.
You ever heard of brown notes?
With that,
This music is terrific, by the way. You've done a good job on this.
oh, thank you.
On setting the tone.
I tried really hard.
It's really good. It's like we're in a haunted house. It's
Yeah.
great.
So, meet at the Jade Palace. I would finish packing up your things and probably begin to head over there.
Have they improved the recipe at all?
No. But
Okay.
your Lightkeeper will be there, and your other circle members are on their way.
Okay, I'll see them there.
So with that, the man gets up and walks out. And now we cut to a doctor's office where our Dr. James is currently wrapping up with a patient when one of the nurses knocks on the door. Doctor, your 3:30 appointment is in room 6.
I don't have a 3:30 appointment.
He's here and he says he has a 3:30.
Alright, I'll get to him when I have a chance.
Okay. So as you finish up with your current patient, you get down there and you go down the hall to room 6. This is your first, dealing with Candela, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, do you knock on the door before you enter?
Yes.
You do? Okay. So, go ahead and knock. And, like most doctors, I'm sure you knock and then immediately enter.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you do, you see a tall man in a suit with sunken eyes as if he's tired, and he's holding a hat. And as you come in, what is your initial interaction with the man?
What do you mean?
Do you say, hello, I'm Dr. whatever, or...
Yeah, I'd say, hello, Dr. Buckingham. How can I help you?
Well, have you ever wondered if there's something beyond this world?
In my dreams.
In your dreams? A place fueled by magic, perhaps?
Sometimes.
If these questions intrigue you, I have an opportunity for you. Your thirst for knowledge will definitely be quenched through this. We are a secret organization of sorts, and we would like for you to meet at the Jade Palace with a few of our colleagues. If you wrap up your day and head down there, they should be there at about the same time as you. So, if your curiosity is piqued, I guess we will see you at the Jade Palace.
Alright, but are you injured at all, or can I help you still?
That'll be all, Mr. Buckingham.
Alright.
And now, we cut to our next scene, which is a man hastily walking towards a vintage-looking bookstore. He's wearing a derby, and he has a wool trench coat on, with a handlebar mustache. However, while he's the only one that we see in this frame, we actually hear 2 sets of footsteps. And now coming into view is a very erratic-looking gentleman. Joe, would you please describe yourself?
Yeah, you see about a 5'9" man who looks like he hasn't slept in 3 or 4 days. Frantically, it looks like that he has kind of given up on his appearance. He's got a popped collar, a tie sort of tied around him. His hair's all in every direction except for the one that he wants it to go. And half of his shirt is untucked. And he's got, let's see, he's got the 5 o'clock shade going on his face there. And yeah, that's about it. 5 o'clock shadow.
So you follow the man into the bookstore, but as soon as you guys walk through the front door of the bookstore, the man quickly veers down a aisle to the left, like the very first aisle coming into the bookstore. What is your next move, so to speak? You don't have to, like, not one from the paper, just in general.
Yeah, it's still, looking around, seeing if anybody's eyes catch me, or they're looking towards our direction as we enter. If there's anybody in the room at all, I'm not sure.
There are 5 other people in the bookstore.
Do any of them look my way as I enter?
No. They're all very much focused on the books that they're looking at, and you've actually it's almost as if the guy vanished out of sight.
I'm going to pick up a book off of a off a shelf and kind of flip through it, but keep my eyes forward, looking for the guy, looking around.
Okay.
As I follow which way I saw him go.
For fun's sake, why don't you roll 4 dice and add up the total?
10.
So for 10 minutes, you sit there and you do this, and you he never shows up. Nothing ever comes of it. But while you are sitting there doing that, a man comes up beside you, and he says to you haven't paid him any attention yet, and he says, are you usually following shady characters from the Red Hand? Or is this a new hobby that you've taken up?
I only do it whenever it interests me.
Whenever you say that, do you turn and look at him, or do you keep looking?
I'm keep looking and just flipping through the book.
Okay, so he says, well, is it the ancient artifacts that interest you? Or is it something that happened some years ago? Or what is it that draws your attention to so openly stalk members of the Red Hand?
That's something that I know and you don't need to know.
What if I said we could help you find her?
I just quickly take my eyes and look at him as I hear her.
So,
do you know where she's at? Like, where is she?
We don't know yet, but we can help you find her. We have the means. But what we would need from you is to meet a group of individuals that have like interests such as your own that we feel you could do well with. We need you to meet them down at the Jade Palace over near the South Soffit, which the South Soffit is like the poorer side of town, where many of you guys, even Nathaniel, would be familiar with because several of you live there. You would live more like on campus of the school that you teach at, but you like terrible Chinese food, so you frequent there.
Dog good.
Are you talking about that place that's got that delicious Chinese food down in?
I think there's only one, so yes.
He's confused.
I would like to pull out my can't even think of that word now. The watch that I have.
Okay.
And look at the time and say, what kind of time do I have?
You best be heading down there.
Okay. I'm gonna flip it back and put it in my pocket. I say, I'll see what I can do. I'll put the book back I'll just actually throw the book and then just walk out the door.
His character always has random gadgets. I love it.
It's fantastic.
Trinkets.
Next, we go to a division of the city known as the Red Lamp. Now, a typical trip to the Red Lamp would be for fulfilling desires of vice, while that is not why we are there today. In this particular moment, we are actually down there because of a interest. Our detective, Mr. Marion, is hot on the trail of a particular politician who is not doing what he should be doing, and you've actually been hired by the gentleman's wife, and you are closing in on him and his wrongdoings at the moment. So you are currently out on the street. You just observed him go into one of the establishments. Can you describe your character for us?
So he came from humble beginnings. Family was first generation immigrants into this country that we live in.
Okay.
And they got some land, they farmed, and they're actually fairly successful. But he wanted to do something to help people besides just grow food for them. So he decided to go into the city where the jobs were and become a detective. But he's tall but gangly but strong. So he's think like 6'5", big Adam's apple, country voice, almost like Seth Mosier. So the best way to describe him is his integrity is like Jack Reacher. Okay, but he has the lawman ability of like a Walker Texas Ranger, but also has some of the goofy guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou in him. Okay, so kind of all three of those guys, but tall, big Adam's apple. But he wants to do right, and he knows he's smart in doing it, and he wants to help.
Okay.
But he's very, very country, very humble, and his family has money, but he doesn't want it. Not like a lot, but he doesn't want anything from them because he doesn't want to burden them.
That's fantastic.
He's trying to make his own way.
All right. So you see him go into this establishment. We'll say it's called Lavender, and we'll just leave it at Lavender. And as you see him go in, what is your next move?
Well, I take the piece of straw out of my mouth that I'm chewing on, and my inner monologue says, well, I know what people look like that frequent these places, even though I don't. But that man looks like he isn't somebody that's normally down in an area like this. So I'm wondering what he's doing down there. So he don't look the part.
Okay. Do you go in after him?
I kind of slowly meander down after him, but I'm worried about sticking out because I also don't look like I fit that area. I mean,
right.
I look like a country person in the city.
Okay, so as you are making your way across the street, you hear like a lot of commotion coming from like your right side, like down the street, like where you had already come from, like down that direction. And as you hear that, you turn and you look, and you see people like running, clamoring, screaming, just all kinds of insanity. Do you continue your path, or
I immediately go up to see if I need to help.
I
run up there.
One person, like she's running up the street. You can tell she's not well off, much like yourself. and she trips and she like stumbles and she like falls like up against you, and she's like, I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen, and she just like takes off running again after that, and you see people coming out of one particular building. It's looks like some sort of apartments. What do you do?
Run into the apartments to see.
So as you do, you hear a bunch of clamoring and banging and just all kinds of just chaos going on around you. But it sounds like it's coming from the 5th floor. I don't know why I keep rolling 5s, but I keep rolling 5s. So
all out of the way right now.
As you are making your way up the steps, obviously there are people like fighting, like you're a salmon going upstream at this point with people like trying to clamber out of the building, and you're hearing more and more like beating and banging and thuds. As all this is going on, you like go to around a corner, and a very big burly guy comes like flying down the corner and like smacks you, and you go tumbling down a flight of stairs. I need you to take a body mark.
Just use your pencil.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Don't roll.
Yeah, you just fill in the first.
Just
little...
hit one on the body?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
So
I got 2. Quit your whining.
He's the most beat up one out of all of us so far.
with that, you finally make it to the 5th hallway, and you hear it coming from the 4th door on the right. The door is wide open, and you're hearing slam and all kinds of crazy noise. What do you do? Do you run down there and investigate, or?
I immediately run down there.
Okay. As you get to the door, would you be like one of those people that kind of like does that in the door frame, or like once you get stopped to look in?
He's cautious because he's not dumb. So he gets down there and he quickly but carefully peeks to see what's going on. To see, just kind of takes his hat off, looks around the door just to see if someone's in trouble.
Okay. So with that, you see a box of like a wooden storage chest, almost like a trunk that you would see at the end of somebody's bed, and it's flipped upside down and it's moving around like all over the place, and like there's all kinds of like the furniture's tore up, and the whole apartment is just disheveled. There's food on the ground, and like the stove has been left on by whoever was in this room because they were beginning to cook dinner. And what do you do now?
How quickly is the box jumping around?
It's moving at a pretty rapid pace. It's quick.
I would say I look for an object to try to stop the box from moving, to hold it in some way. I'm looking around the apartment for something I can throw over it, or if there's a shovel or a hammer, I can hit it. Just something to try to stop it, because I know I'm not going to be able to stop it on my own. And obviously no walkie-talkies back then. I can't call anybody for help, no backup.
You see a bookshelf that you can drop onto it, and it's actually right in front of the bookshelf at this point. I need you to make a control roll.
Okay. 4.
A 4? So you go to knock the bookshelf down on top of it, and as the bookshelf is falling onto it, the wood splinters, and as it splinters, you see a blue ethereal looking creature about the size of Penelope, so about the size of a small blue healer. And as it hits this creature, it divides into 2, and it's almost like a malleable liquid. So as it hits and divides it into 2, the one comes like flying out at you and hits you in the chest, knocking you to the ground. And I need you to take a bleed mark, and I need you to tell us how this bleed affects you.
The bleed
So this would be like a physical marking from it, like a scar, or like a coloring, like a change of coloring in the skin. Obviously, with it like being on your chest, like you have your shirt or whatever that protects you, but like the shirt would kind of burn away because of like the magical etherealness of it. So, and it wouldn't be like a big burn. It could just be like a small burn in the clothing, but it does hit you to where like you are affected by it.
So are you wanting me to say how it affects me emotionally or physically or both?
I kind of like the idea of both. Let's do that.
Okay. So when it hits me, the burning reminds me of we used to the farm that I grew up on. We branded cows, obviously, because we ranched too. And as kids, we thought it'd be neat to make our own branding irons with our initials out of, hangers or metal wire. And we branded ourselves with our own initials.
Paper
And
clips. I wouldn't know anything
the
about
burning reminds me of that. Kind of takes me back to my brothers doing that in the barn, getting in trouble by our dad. And that's how it felt. But it also felt like something wasn't right. This thing was obviously not supposed to be here. And I was raised to not believe in things like that. So I'm really taken back that almost like it doesn't seem like it's happening. Because I don't believe that it's happening. How old's your character? About 45.
45, okay. So the Great War has essentially just ended. So would you have served during the Great War?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's good to know for future stuff. With that, after it like lands on you, it like scrambles up and bounces and runs along with the other one, and they like dive out the window. Gone from like your visual for the current time.
So I just run over to the window and I'm trying to find them.
So as you don't see them, like they moved super quick. With that, what's your next move then? Do you?
I get on the phone. And I try to call him because I know him. He was like a father to me in the city when I got there. Came back with some mental scars from the war. Wanted to serve. And I call him. I assume I can't get a hold of him because he's gone already.
Well, as you pick up the phone to try to make the call, you pick it up and you're like, operator. But before you can even fully get those words out, you hear a voice from the doorway. I'm afraid that the phones haven't been in operation over here for a little while now, probably a couple hours. Outage. And you look, and whenever you look to see who said that, you see a tall man in a suit with sunken eyes who looks tired, wearing a hat. And with that, what do you say?
I ask him what he knows about these creatures, but not in a suspicious way, but I can tell he knows something like things that he would know about. Like he's been around a while and been around things.
He goes, well, I know, much like I'm gathering that you know, that they don't belong. And knowing that, I do also know that some people already have them, they're hot on their trail. They don't have them apprehended probably just yet. But there are people at hand that are taking care of the situation. However, if you would like to know more about these kinds of things and help problem solve a few issues, we could use a man like you in a particular organization that I am a member of. all you need to do is meet some of my friends down at the Jade Palace in the South Soffit.
I'd be honored.
Well, shall we make our way down there?
Let's go.
So you will actually be escorted by the gentleman.
No, I haven't seen him, just so you know. Been probably 3 or 4 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? Been a while. But it's one of those friendships where it never goes away.
Right.
You know?
With that, I needed
a dad figure.
I need you other 4 to roll a dice. We're going to see who enters into the restaurant first.
I got 5.
I got 6.
I also rolled a 6, but it's on the floor.
Oh yeah.
Jerry situation.
You got a what?
I rolled a 6, it's on the floor.
Fantastic.
I rolled a 6.
Okay, so you 2 get to re-roll again.
Can I check my text that I have before I enter?
Like your
My occult text or my occult text.
yeah, your occult text. Yes.
I got a 6 again.
I would like
3.
I would like to just see if there's any mentions of Jade Palace in there.
Okay. Why don't you make a? Well, it's not necessarily how this one is. You know what? I'm not even going to use any of your actions yet. I'm gonna save them. So, with that, you look at your occult text, and there's nothing necessarily mentioned about a Jade Palace per se. Where did you get this book? Did you how did you come about acquiring it?
As I was doing my very legal following of people in said Red Hand group, they happened to drop it, and as I went to go give it back to them, they were gone.
Okay.
Lying and saying that I stole it from one of the Red Hand people.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so in this you don't see anything about a Jade Palace. You see a thing about burial grounds. You see some things about rituals done in the area of the West Wreck, which is like a dilapidated area outside of town. We will probably be learning more about that throughout these assignments, but that skimming it before you go in, that's kind of what you gather. Now, you 2. Who got the better roll out of the 2?
I rolled a 3.
You
I
rolled
got
a 3?
a 6.
You got a 6 again? Loaded dice. Got it.
I rolled a 1.
I rolled a 1. I rolled a...
Okay.
And I'm walking with you, so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So,
Mr. Insignificant
You get the
over here.
special treatment.
James hurriedly closed down his doctor's office to get there. And whenever you come in, there's a handful of people. We'll say there's about 7 people there. I can't do math. There's about 7 people inside. All seemingly normal. There are a handful of open tables because it's a fairly good sized restaurant. But you don't necessarily know what you're looking for. So there's a table that has like 2 chairs at it. There's a table that has about 7 chairs at it, and then there's a booth.
I'll take the booth.
You take the booth?
Good choice. Better on the back.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That's what I was thinking of.
But if it's a buffet, you're in trouble. You get trapped in there.
That is true.
So, as you are sitting there, a handful of minutes go by, and a gentleman walks in, and he's a little bit taller. He's probably about 6'5", 6'6", and he is he's wearing a long black shirt, like long black sleeves, and his hair is shaved on the sides and pulled back up top is dreadlocks, and he comes and he goes to the table with about the 7 chairs, and he starts pulling one out, and without even looking at you, he goes, "That area won't be big enough for all of us," and then he sits down in the chair. And then he looks over at you and smiles. Come on, have a seat.
Can I tell him to? You come over here. It's better. It's better.
It might be cushiony, but we're not all going to fit.
Pull the chair up.
I don't think you know how this works.
He really likes this seat.
I go sit down. I go sit down.
So with that, at about that time, what did you roll?
A 1.
A 1. So you had technically the next highest roll because you guys tied. So
I had a 5.
as you come in, do you sit on the same side as this guy, or do you sit on the opposite side?
Opposite.
Opposite. Okay. So as you come in, you see a gentleman in a pinstripe vest facing this other gentleman, and they're not quite sitting face to face. They're kind of diagonal from each other, and you recognize the other gentleman as Alan W. Bray, a former circle member that you have had interactions with in Candela before. And there you go.
I guess I would approach him, greet him, say hello, Alan, and I'd sit down next to him at the table.
Ah, Nathaniel, how have you been?
I've been better, but I think things are starting to look up again.
That's great. Do things normally come better with shiners?
No, not typically, and this is courtesy of your friend in the suit.
He distracted you during training, I see.
Indeed.
I
was not pleased.
Gotta keep them gloves up.
Guess I'm losing a bit of my speed with my age.
Maybe, but you still have it all up here, and that's what I've always appreciated about you. And as that conversation is wrapping up, Albert T. comes in.
So I guess I walk through the door, and the first thing I notice, since I've been here multiple times, I go, I see they got rid of the buffet. And then I go over to Alan, who I recognize, and I tip my hat to him, say, "Alan, it's been a while."
Yes. Last time I think we barely escaped a sea creature over the vast chasm.
Yeah, almost had to throw one of us over in order to survive.
It sure definitely seemed that things were getting pretty bleak, for sure. Well, this is going to be an exciting circle. I actually, we'll wait till everybody gets here before I start divulging.
How many more we got coming?
There should be about 3. No, 3 of you are already here, so 2 more. And next would be our friend Joe Monkey.
Did he come with him?
No, he's coming in with the other guy from Candela.
Oh, gotcha. I'm gonna... Is there a lot of people in the room, or is it just the one table that's full?
There's 7 scattered throughout. I'm sorry, 7 scattered throughout, and then there's our table that's filling up.
Okay. Could I walk up to their table and say, "Are you expecting people?"
You most certainly can. So with that, Alan looks at you and goes, yes! Mr. Monkey, I'm a big fan. Loved your last book, actually.
No, please stop. We don't need to hear that either.
Please, have a seat. And so, as we all are gathering together, shortly after our friend Marion comes in, and he is escorted by our unknown friend from Candela, and as he comes up, our tall friend goes, "Mr. Bray, our last member of this circle here. Ah, yes. Marion, so glad to see you. Glad you could join us.
It's good to be here. Nathaniel? I see having all that money don't make you immune to getting a whooping, does it?
What?
The black guy.
Yeah. Now.
I look at
Albert?
Marion.
Good to see you.
See, you can't help but getting yourself in trouble every single time I see you. Isn't that true?
Well, I probably could have learned a little more from you and hung out around you a little longer, but
I got in trouble in my youth too. So
what's his name?
Him? Joe.
Mr. Monkey, big fan.
Okay, as I sit down, can I make it where like it seems like I'm like about to pass out and I'm just like slowly I just have no idea what's going on around the table right now.
Fantastic. So the exhaustion is catching up to you, but as everybody sits down and we start getting comfortable and there's a little bit of banter going on.
So we're in the same police department. I mean, we're colleagues.
No, you guys are both like private. This is how I imagined it, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I imagined you guys as like rival private investigators. To where,
Yeah, see, I thought I was a detective on a department.
I mean, you can be. We could definitely do that. That's easily done. It's now canon.
What did you think?
That's kind of what I thought. I thought we were just police officers.
Okay, so then that's what we will have it be then. That's perfectly fine. So
we work together, and we're colleagues. We respect each other, but there's a rivalry.
Yeah.
Newman, Jerry.
Hello, Nathaniel.
Hello, Nathaniel.
So as we all kind of are getting comfortable and everything, a gentleman comes up. May I take your order? What are we having today?
I take the special.
Okay, so that would be one special coming up. Anything else?
I'll just take a hot tea, please.
Hot tea?
Me too. I'll take a hot tea too.
Okay.
Yeah, can I get some carbonated water, please?
We might have some seltzers. Wait, you're that guy. You write those books.
He's the monkey. Monkey man.
I have to interject. I'm sorry. Everyone here seems to know you, but I don't have the foggiest clue who you are.
He wrote some really good books like over the past 10 years, and then he just disappeared. Like writer's block, or where have you been?
Life gets to you, it got to me, so that's why I'm here.
Oh man, I've got a copy of your first book. I can't stop rereading it in the back. I'm gonna go grab it after I get y'all's order. I gotta have your autograph.
where in the world did you vanish off to?
Y'all got any of them little sugar-covered donuts?
We sure do.
I'll take a bunch of them.
Okay.
I'll just take a order of dumplings.
Dumplings? Okay.
Dumplings.
All right. So we have 2 hot teas, a special, seltzer,
Dumplings.
and donuts. Anything else?
The special, that's leeches, right?
Not normally.
That sounds
Today
terrible.
it was sesame chicken.
Alright. That's cool too.
So what are your books about?
I don't like talking about it.
I'm just trying to find out kind of what the manner of your character is.
Mostly mysteries. Mostly.
Children's books, all right. That's probably why I've never heard of you. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Do we have
Feel the bromance from across the
cameras
table
a
over here.
thing?
A what?
Cameras? Can I
Ca-
follow that camera to take a quick photo of me and him? Me and
Uh,
Monkey? I don't know.
do you have one in your gear?
I have one in my gear?
I don't know how, because they're huge back then.
Well, I got medical equipment. Can I just
Holding it up.
He's
Get you what?
I have medical equipment. Can I just real quick
Well, ask the group if anybody's got a camera you'd like a picture with them.
Yeah, anyone got a camera? I don't want to say what it's for though.
I'll take a napkin and pull out a pen out of that's stuff inside my pocket, and I'll just loosely do this so you can't even tell it's my signature and throw it at him. So we can get off the subject of me, please. And then I'm gonna pass out.
Well, as you start to, Alan's like, "Oh no! We have things to discuss here. We're not here to nap." Matter of fact, I picked all of you personally. Some of you I've known for a while. Well, a couple of you I've known for a while. But the rest of you have been outstanding in your own fields and are quite knowledgeable in various things. And I feel that your expertise in those things will come in handy. Especially you two with our most, with this recent assignment that you guys will be given. Do you think you guys could get along long enough to come up with a circle name? A name of your group?
I guess while we're sitting there thinking, while he's passed out, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey, we got work to do. Wake up. Job's not over yet."
I'm gonna slowly open my eyes and take out a notepad and start writing in it.
I got an idea for the name.
Okay.
Oreo Express.
Oreo?
Yeah, Oreo.
Oreo Express.
I mean, if we're meeting at a Chinese restaurant, the Oriental might be a good start, and I kind of like the Express because, no offense, but I'd rather get this done quickly and be done with you all.
You don't change.
Nah.
And I'm so glad you're here. Okay. Or any objections to Oriental Express?
Yes. No, never mind.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time to get down to the details. There's not many. I know you guys are all familiar with the theater over in the Varnish known as the... I forgot the name. The Moving Pastel. And some of you would be familiar with the owner, Mr. W. Sands. He has gone missing, and we will need to make our way in there to investigate what has happened, because this seems, up front, it seems like a just regular kidnapping or something gone wrong. A lot of people, especially you two, would know this. He's known for gambling behind the scenes and stuff, and a lot of people would go to him for that. And so, being known for that, you guys would have had dealings with him in the past and everything. So, in my gut, this just doesn't seem like a regular disappearance. Something seems off.
Well, I think Nathaniel and myself can get along well enough on this. It'll probably surprise him if we go in there together. And we could threaten to hang something on him with the gambling.
Well, he's missing.
Oh, he's missing.
Yeah,
Oh.
W. Sands is missing.
Oh, I thought someone else was missing.
No.
Well, then we just go in, right?
Yes, but we're going to need your credentials, essentially, to get into the crime scene.
Do we all go together?
You all will go together.
Okay.
So, with that, I will leave you guys to work amongst yourselves, and I will meet you all back here.
Is this guy,
So we gotta
you said
figure this
a
out.
light bearer?
A light keeper.
Light keeper. Is
Yeah,
this
so-
guy a light keeper? I don't know.
Yeah,
what
he
that
is a
means,
light
but-
keeper. Yeah.
Okay.
And his name is Alan W. Bray.
Bray.
Do we have any hints on... I mean, obviously, we're going to know. We got to figure out how we know this. We're going to know known associates of his.
Yes.
So how do we figure that out and get that information? Is it rolling?
What do you mean?
Well, we're going to put our heads together, and even though we don't get along, we're going to get along for this to help him, and we're going to say, you know, he used to hang out, you know, Babyface Two Toes McGee, you know?
Okay, well, that
And
one's
then-
becoming canon.
But, you know, Nathaniel might have had dealings with him. I might have had dealings with him. We got to figure out, do we have dirt on him where we can go threaten him to find out some information on what's going on here with this guy?
Well, the first step
Babyface
To,
Two Toes McGee.
to give you guys a little bit of guidance. I don't want to overstep. I'm trying very hard to not control things too much. Would generally, like, with the way that this is kind of leading, would be to go to survey the crime scene first, which is where your 2 credentials would be really coming into play. But if you guys wanted to skip that step for right now and go, like, interrogate somebody, you could. These are group decisions that you guys can make.
I think we should look at the crime scene.
You guys want to check it out?
Has Alan left the table yet?
Yeah, Alan's gone.
Okay, as he left, I want to look at you two, and I want to go. Now, I know me and you know each other a little bit. I know you a little bit more. In your years, have you ever learned anything on Mr. Bray, on Mr. Alan W. Bray?
What do you mean by learned anything?
Have you investigated him at all, or anything like that?
Never really had the reason to. We are quite friendly, but outside of the Candela circles, I've never had any real dealings with him.
I've never met him before today.
Are you
I'm not from around here.
Are you trying to gather information on Alan W. Bray, or what are you doing?
I'm just seeing if any of these two have learned anything suspicious on Alan.
Okay.
Albert, I see you still have some trust issues after all these years.
Well, when
you would have been in a circle, so you two, not necessarily in the same circle, like the 3, Alan, Nathaniel, and Albert wouldn't necessarily have been in a circle together, unless, like, that's how you guys wanted to play it. You all 3 would know each other from dealings through Candela, but he had definitely served in a circle with you, and he had definitely served in a circle with you. So you guys do know a fair amount about him. You know that he is, as far as, like, class would go within the game of Candela, you would know that he's an occultist. You would know that he is very happy, like, all the time. Very, very, very carefree kind of guy. It's a pretty good start, but if you have any other questions, I'd be more than happy to try to fill it in. No? Okay, so back to the original thing. What do we do?
Who's got the Plymouth out there with the rumble seat in the back? You?
I have nothing to my name right now.
Whose Plymouth? Is that your Plymouth with the rumble seat in the back?
Sounds fancy. I don't think it belonged to the doctor.
Let's take that down there. I've always wanted to ride in a rumble seat.
A rumble seat. Let me
Well,
put
no,
a
this is
towel on this.
1910, isn't it?
Yeah, so
We're not quite in the 30s.
No.
we're in automobile territory, but it wouldn't have been that.
Who's got that motorized carriage out
That
front?
fancy Model T.
You?
Yep, me.
Got the
I
crank
ain't never
in the
got to
front?
ride in one of those. Can we take that down there?
Yeah, just let me put some towels on the seats real quick. It's really nice velvet. Like,
Oh, you don't have to worry about getting my clothes dirty. I'll be just fine. I don't care if your seats are dirty. I'll be fine.
Man just fell down a piece.
You're not gonna hurt these clothes. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I don't want to hurt the seats. It costs a lot of money to
We all
get
just
these
jump in.
installed.
He just,
Everybody just piles
he
in.
needs a cushion. He fell down some stairs.
Oh, he's one of them fancy people, huh?
So as you're, like, scrambling to get, like,
And all
towels
5 of them
down,
sort of Model T.
everybody just, like, piles in. You're like,
I think of like Hotel Transylvania where they're all in the car and Blobby's on the outside. You know?
I just forget the towels. I just get in the driver's seat.
where are you at in the car?
I'm gonna be as
Crunched in the middle?
No, definitely not. I'm gonna be probably like the last one in the car, or at least standing back far enough.
Okay, so squeezed in the back seat
Yeah.
with, I'm guessing.
Well,
you?
my guy's so tall, he's sitting by a door, and his head has to be out so it doesn't hit the roof. He's like snaked out the window.
Well, is it a carriage that had a roof on it, or is it a convertible type carriage, like where it's open top?
It has a roof.
It has a roof.
Yeah,
Okay,
it needs
Fancy.
it. It needs it.
really ritzy doctor over here. He could afford a roof.
A young medical doctor. One of them youngsters. I ran into too many of you people.
What do you mean, you people?
Young doctors think they're experienced, and then they mess somebody up. And after I say that, I go,
Oh boy.
that was my hip.
hip surgery in 1910.
That had that. Hip
They put a
surgery
twig in there.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to graft this tree into your leg.
Yeah, it's just a plank of cedar.
It's not working. Get the leeches. Let's just do some bloodletting until he dies. Okay, we're good.
Okay, so
So I talked to Nathaniel before we leave, and we just talk about our.
we'll say this is actually like on your way to
Yeah,
the
we
scene.
we're going to put our differences aside as much as we can. So I think he's a rich snobby detective that's a know-it-all, right? And you think I'm a bumpkin.
He's right.
We're going to try to put it aside. It's basically a class thing,
Yeah. So
I would say maybe even goes a little deeper than that, because being a detective, I would probably have learned that you came from money, and I want to be that so much, and you just don't care about it, and I'm jealous that you have the ability to have that, and you just don't care about it because I want it so much.
That's good. That's deep.
yeah, I like that. That is deep. That's
Our
really
characters are messed up. We're psychologically messed up.
good.
It's good.
It's good for the yeah. So
Bunch of basket cases.
It's a
around.
therapy session here.
does anybody want to say or do anything else while we're in the motor car on our way over to the?
I'm fiddling with the radio.
All right, sir, you're in the front. You're in the front.
not quite.
Hey, Marconi, I don't think they have radios in the
No.
We're not that
cars,
far
no.
yet. We don't do that here.
Albert's in the middle of the back seat, just like scrunched together. Just you can kind of hear slowly some creaking and cracking noises.
You guys roll up to like the outside of the yes.
So I was wondering, would it be ride up or rolled up? Because technically you're in a carriage with horses, right?
No, it's a motor car.
Oh, okay.
It's a
Okay.
motorized carriage.
Oh, I get it now. Okay.
So as you guys get in front of the moving pastel, you see like a small scene of people, reporters and different things, making notes and whatnot else. But there is commotion out front, so there are people already here.
I'm gonna see the reporters and pull up the sides of my collar and kind of try to hide in between them and keep my head down as I walk in, or wait for everybody, I guess, to exit the car first, because I don't have access to this place.
And my guy doesn't care about the fame, like that he knows him as fame, but he's just bumpkin enough to know somebody famous is supposed to be important. So he sees the reporters and he's like, "Hey, Mr. Monkey's here. He's been in hiding, Mr." And he's like pointing them out, like, "This is Mr. Monkey. Say hi," because he doesn't know him well. He thinks he likes the fame. He doesn't know.
And so like people turn around, they're like, "Mr. Monkey, are you here to say?" And so, like all of a sudden, just like several reporters are like, "Mr. Monkey, what's the next book?" And, like just trying to like shout over everything, and like the chaos is now like instead of like focused on the front of the building, it is now focused on you. And so that's the current thing that's going on.
My character hating all of this. Can I burn a hide action to try to sneak away? Try to
You
get
most
out?
certainly can.
Okay. Because since I hate this, can I use the guild dice? Can I roll 2?
You can use a drive and do a gilded.
I'll do it.
Wait, it is your hide is one of your gilded?
Yes.
It's not gilded.
Oh, is it that thing right there?
Read, and then it looks like you filled in survey
It's sway.
or sway. I mean,
Yes.
okay. So you can't gild, but you can use a drive.
No.
Wait, how many gilded things are we supposed to have filled in then?
2.
Oh,
Do you only have 1?
yeah.
Ah.
Just control.
Yeah, you can gild 1 more action. You're not gonna use a drive?
Nah.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but nah. I'll just take the 5.
So
I have
you
bleed as my other
Wait,
one.
Wait, so if I take a drive, what do I do with that?
you would have just rolled 2 dice, but you
Oh.
rolled a 5. So I mean, really, you didn't need to.
Hold on. What
Do
did you
have
need
hide
another
gilded?
one of?
You ought to have hide gilded since your
Would
guy's
you need
such
another
a
one of?
A
Hermit.
gilded thing.
I
I
didn't
only
know
had
that
one
everybody was
filled
going to
in.
know who I
Oh.
was.
I think
So I had no idea.
Mr. Monkey.
Yeah, that was
well, you're a writer. In
that came
19.
filled in
That's true.
originally.
Oh,
My mom taught me how to
I guess
read.
I'm
Read me
good.
your books.
What did you say?
I said I guess I'm good. Then I don't know if I need anything else. us or not.
So with that, like, there's a couple that like trail you, but you like lead. Like it's like you're able to like kind of like sneak, even though like they're focused on you. You manage to like find your way around the crowd as like the chaos in them, like they begin to bicker and everything, and you lead the rest of the group into the theater. And now you guys are inside the theater.
Like focuses the camera on somebody else.
Yeah, essentially.
I could be the one out there. Ask my friend Marion here learned how to read. His mom taught him how to read using my books. They start talking to him. He sneaks away.
Hey, so I have on focus, I have it all the circles close in. So is that good? And can I roll to like analyze the crime scene?
Whenever we get to the crime scene. Yes.
Oh, okay.
We're not like we're at the building, but we're not like to the office where the crime took place yet.
All right.
Was it the blanket on the couch? Oh. I just saw something go behind my head, and I was like, what?
So, what's the next move?
I'm gonna say to the whole group, like, let's try to keep the whole rider thing, the novel thing, to us, please. Let's not get any more attention than we already have.
Huh?
Can I just start running up the stairs?
Okay, so the doctor takes off up the stairs. Do you guys follow?
I just kind of look at everybody and go, well, that was weird. Now every day you see a doctor just take off running.
I slowly follow.
Should we follow him?
Him.
I reckon.
I slowly follow James.
I'm gonna pull out my occult text and just try to analyze it again to see if this is anywhere in that book.
Are we in a building? We're in the front of the building, like the foyer?
Yeah, you're in the foyer, like the entry of the theater.
Okay, so I'm kind of looking at all the, I'm looking around at all the different show posters.
Okay.
Is this
Just kind of poking, just checking out stuff.
Is this near where he was before he met us?
I gotta look at the locations of the map real quick.
I also ask if anybody wants some popcorn, because I noticed there's a popcorn machine in Colonel's. You notice my guy, he's tall, he's slender, he's got a metabolism. He's a freak of nature, so he eats all the time.
Mm-hmm. So you act like Roger Vale. He
like,
is Roger
it's
Vale.
like, it's like Joe Reeves. Yeah, he eats all the time. Yeah, anybody want some popcorn?
Am I loud enough to yell from the top floor, just to yell all the way down? Yes, please.
Do you want some popcorn?
Yes, please.
Butter and salt?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So I'm popping popcorn in the foyer.
While we just wait.
Okay,
Wait for someone to say what to do.
Nathaniel, what are you doing in this moment?
I'm looking around to try to find whoever's in charge, so I can ask them where the main crime scene is located, so I can go and begin looking around.
Okay, so with that, you actually come across a one of your like fellow officers, and he's like, Nathan, about time you all showed up, but what's he doing here?
It's a long story. I'd rather not get into it now. What have you found so far?
Nothing. It's like he just got up and walked out of his office.
Really?
Yes.
Now, he owns the theater, right?
Yeah.
So our operations, nothing's going on. There's no operations. They're done. But there's cops there investigating?
So cops are investigating, and we'll say that the people that were like downstairs practicing while he was up in his office, they're all very distraught over like in a corner. Like you're sitting there popping your popcorn, and you notice like they're
like
all
the
over,
director and the actors and
yeah,
stuff.
they're all over in a corner being questioned, and like there's a lady dressed up for one of the parts in the play. She's actually one of like the more famous ones. She was going to be the main character in the next one, and we'll say her name is Olivia Alda, or, and she's over there just bawling her eyes out, and with that,
So I'm suspicious on, first of all, she's an actress.
okay,
And I think she could be acting. But also, I believe that she knows him better than the other ones. Maybe there was a romantic relationship or something. because she is so visibly upset and the other ones are not.
Why don't you make a read roll?
How does helping people work?
Like assisting?
Yeah.
If you want to assist him on like his roll, just say you want to assist him on
So
his roll.
I have 2 on my read. Does that mean I add that?
So no, that means that's how many
I get.
read moves. You
Okay,
get.
gotcha.
So this would be using one.
Can I roll 2?
That's a 4. Okay, so
Partial read?
you have seen her like while tailing Mr. Sands before. You have seen her with him. So she is definitely a love interest of some sort. You haven't quite like figured it all out yet, but you had seen that before, and you know that that she is genuine with her sadness.
Okay. Do I have to erase one of these now?
Yes.
I should have done that as a gilded. I didn't realize I was gilded.
We can change it before every assignment, right?
Okay.
Change what?
So
How many of these we get?
I
3
go.
extras?
I kind of pull
no.
whoever's down there. I'm making popcorn still, but I realize because I'm still observing as I'm making it for everybody, and I observe her that she's overly distraught. Figure out I've seen her. So is Nathan close to me?
They are not close together.
Is he close to me? Like who's still downstairs? Everybody.
Did you go upstairs?
I went upstairs, yeah.
So
You
you're
went
upstairs.
upstairs?
So
I need to call them over.
Okay. Are you guys still downstairs?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you call them over.
Yeah, call them over. Say we gotta talk to Nathan and see if he's seen them together. But something, she might know something. If he was kidnapped, there's a good chance she's gonna know who would have done it, or give us some suspects at least to follow. You guys want to get Nathan and let him know? See what his interactions have been?
At that moment, I want to pause you 3 downstairs, and I want to go to you 2 upstairs. I want you to. What would Nathan do in this situation as he gets into the crime scene, knowing what he knows?
Probably begin searching the room for any clues, anything hidden.
Okay. Why don't you make a... Nope, that's the wrong sheet. I believe I'm going to want you to make a focus roll.
Focus roll. Alright. 5.
A 5. So, looking around, you immediately notice that there is another set of feet, shoe prints on the floor other than his own, but you cannot quite tell exactly where the motive of, or you can't tell much about this person other than that there were 2 people here. However, you do know that your good old friend Marion over here is very good at breaking down and dissecting crime scenes, and
From the size of the prints, can I get a pretty good idea of man, woman, the size of the shoe, type of the shoe?
you gather it's a man, but you're not 100% sure.
So can I am I there too in the crime scene?
Yeah, you're up there where he was last known to be.
I would like to pull out my camera and take a picture of the shoe prints.
Perfect.
Is it worth trying to do a focus roll?
How many do you have?
3.
3? Go ahead.
Well, before I do that, I just want to lick my finger, point it up, try and find air, wind or anything like that.
Okay.
And then any dice, is it?
Just roll 1 dice unless you're gonna use a drive.
What's a drive? I mean, what?
Like
how
an
would
additional dice. It increases your chance of a success.
Alright.
Do you have to go with
yeah, I
your
have not.
It would be these
Yeah.
3 of them.
No, you
I should
just
have
pick
put them in there.
the
like-
highest?
Yeah, you just pick whatever the highest is.
4.
4. You can tell that there's some air movement through the room that is coming from the room that was the hidden room. There might be a vent or something in there, and because the windows are all shut up and they're all curtains are drawn, but the hidden room is still open. from the scene that we saw at the opening.
You said the hidden room is open?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Do we find anything of interest in the hidden room?
You rolled a 5, so you come across a receipt of sorts with Mr. Sand's signature and another signature, but the other signature is so smudged that you cannot tell what it is. You all right there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's the receipt for?
I'm tired.
Paying off a debt.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can't see the signature. What's it say?
Basically, that W. Sands was paying off one debt to, and then the smudge, and it shows that it was for, well, at this time period, $12,000 would be an insane amount, and that's what it was for. We left off with you. What we again, or where did we leave off?
We left off with them in the going to the hidden room, finding the receipt.
Finding the receipt for the debt that was paid off.
Yes, that's right. Okay. I even thought about it during the break.
As Sands pays off debt to unknown.
Do. Sorry.
That's okay.
He said Sands.
Copyright.
Don't do it.
So, what next?
Are we still upstairs or downstairs?
You three are still downstairs.
That's
yeah,
what I'm
well,
saying.
one of us
Yeah.
is supposed to come get you, right?
Okay, so at that point, stepping up the stairs, coming into the office, is which one of you guys decided to go up there?
I guess I'll have gone up. I'll look at both James and Nathaniel and say, we probably have one of your least favorite thing to do, talk to individuals down here. There's a woman down here we probably get some information from.
And we all have to be there for that? I mean, we were kind of investigating up here. Do you need us to talk to this woman? Are you guys not capable of doing so?
I'll bring the young'un. Young'un, you come with me.
Alright.
And I bring James with me downstairs.
Okay, so as they're heading back down the stairs, before we fully break from this moment upstairs, anything else that you would like to look for?
I mean, we found the shoe prints, we found the receipt. Is there anything else to look for, I guess, would be the question. I mean, I don't know. If I feel like I've thoroughly searched the office and the hidden room, then there's probably no reason for me to stay, but...
Well, before you go downstairs, you go over and you look on the desk. With a 5... Well, how many moves do you have left? Like how many
moves,
actions?
I have...
Well, just actions in general, not just moves.
Oh,
I gotta get used to saying actions.
6. I have 6 actions. I have 2 nerve, 1 cunning, and 3 intuition.
Okay. So, 1 nerve, you said?
2 nerve.
2 nerve.
1 cunning.
I think Nathaniel's the only one who's used an action so far, right?
No.
No.
And I think...
And Tim.
I gotta erase that, right?
Yeah, you do.
I used read.
Yeah. What do you have in cunning?
hide.
A hide?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said you have any intuition left?
I have 2 survey and 1 focus.
Make one of your survey rolls.
Okay.
And this is we'll call a medium stress situation.
He's being followed.
Medium stress, that means he's in a mess. See what I did there?
Medium stress.
He's a gilded
mess.
die also then.
Okay.
4 on the regular and 2 on the gilded, so I guess I'll take the 4.
Okay. So you come across another paper. Again, part of the name is smeared, but not the whole. So you are able to discern the first name, which is Alfred. And the last name is sorry, I'm counting 5 letters long. You can tell that much, but you can't quite make it out because it's the whole like part where looks almost as if like he wrote down something on the paper and then like took the paper and then like set something on top of it and it messed up the fresh ink for the last name. But it is a document that discloses some dealings with this Alfred, and from the paper you can tell that they're in some sort of office because of the way the document reads. It's very much like we need to get together for a meeting after after your not discussion, I can't think of the word, like your political like whatever with Parliament, and so you can tell that this is a politician of some sort.